When a woman wants you, she rarely says it directly. She says it sideways. That is what confuses most men, folks. They keep waiting for some obvious green light, some clear confession, some perfect moment where she makes everything easy to read. But that is not how female desire usually works. Most women do not announce it. They reveal it in tone, timing, warmth, and in the small things they say when the tension is already building. And if you do not understand those signals, you will miss the moment, overthink the energy, or worse, push too hard and kill what was already there. My friend, this is where so many men get it wrong. They assume attraction is all about bold moves and smooth lines. So they force the pace. They talk too much. They try to create heat before she is ready to show it. But the truth is, when a woman wants to get closer to you, she almost always begins by opening the door with her words first. Not in a loud way, in a subtle way, a playful way, a suggestive way, a way that gives you just enough to read her without her having to risk too much too soon. In this video, I am going to show you exactly how to recognize those moments. You will learn the phrases, the emotional shifts, the body language, and the hidden signs that tell you her desire is already there. Once you understand this, you will stop guessing, stop fumbling the tension, and start reading women with a whole new level of clarity. Let's get into it. Number 1. The words she uses. Let's get honest, folks. A woman who wants to get closer to you rarely says it in a blunt, obvious way. She usually says it through language that opens the door without making her feel exposed. That is the first thing most men miss. They sit there waiting for a perfect line, a crystal clear invitation, some movie scene where she makes everything painfully obvious. But real life does not work like that, my friend. Female desire often speaks in softer words, warmer tone, longer conversations, and little phrases that mean more than they sound like on the surface. That is why the words she uses matter so much. A woman who is not interested keeps things practical. Short replies, surface-level questions, clean exits. She does not create extra space for the interaction to breathe. But when she is drawn to you, her language starts changing. She asks things that keep you there longer. She stretches the moment. She gives you openings. It might sound simple. What are you doing later? You always this calm. I feel like I can talk to you. You are trouble. Or even you make me nervous in a good way. Those lines may sound casual, but they are rarely casual when the energy underneath them is warm. Take Aaron, age 41, from Denver. He met Selena, age 34, at a friend's birthday dinner. Early in the night, Selena was polite with everyone. Short answers, light smiles, nothing special. But once she and Aaron started talking, her words changed. She stopped asking dry questions and started asking things that pulled him deeper in. So, what is your story? Why do I feel like there is more to you than you are saying? Then later, when the group started getting ready to leave, she looked at him and said, "You are not leaving yet, are you?" Now that sentence sounds harmless if you only hear the words, but Aaron noticed the tone, the timing, and the fact that she was creating a reason for him to stay in her orbit. That is the point, folks. It is not always the sentence by itself. It is the energy inside it. A woman who wants to move closer often uses language that invites emotional extension. She keeps the exchange open. She gives you little hooks to grab onto. She teases. She asks personal questions. She circles back to something you said earlier because she wants to keep the thread alive. Sometimes she says things that sound like challenges, but they are really invitations. You are hard to read. I am trying to figure you out. You probably say that to every woman. Those lines are not always resistance. Very often, they are flirtation wearing a safer mask. Now here is where men mess it up. They hear one warm phrase and immediately lunge. They overtalk. They force the energy. They try to cash in the moment too fast. That is how you break tension that was just starting to build. A stronger man does something else. He notices the words, but he also notices the mood. He listens for warmth, not just content. He responds with calm, not hunger. That is what keeps the door open. Because, let's be real, women often test emotional safety before they reveal stronger desire. The words come first, because words are safer than action. If she keeps opening the conversation, if she keeps giving you suggestive little invitations to stay, tease or lead, that is often her way of saying, I am comfortable here, keep going but do it right. So pay attention to what she says when she does not need to say anything at all. Pay attention when she keeps the conversation alive. Pay attention when her words stop being practical and start becoming playful, personal, and a little charged. That is usually where interest begins to show itself. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I hear the signals. Stay with me because the next part gets even clearer. We are going to talk about how a woman starts hinting more when she wants the distance between you to disappear. Number 2, she starts hinting more. Let's be honest, folks. When a woman wants to get closer to you, she usually does not come right out and say everything directly. She starts hinting. Not because she is trying to confuse you, my friend, because most women reveal desire in layers. They test the space first. They soften the energy first. They open the door a little before they ever swing it wide open. And if you do not understand that, you will miss the moment completely or force it before it is ready. That is why hinting matters. A woman who is not interested usually keeps things clean and narrow. She answers what you ask, then lets the conversation die. She stays friendly, but she does not add extra warmth. She does not create openings. She does not hand you moments that let the tension breathe. But when she is interested, her style changes. She starts leaving little doors open in the conversation. She gives you more than a reply. She gives you something to build on, a phrase with a little play in it, a question that feels more personal, a line that sounds casual but carries energy underneath it. This is where men need to get sharper. A hint is not always in the content alone. It is in the timing, the tone, and the pattern. She may ask what you are doing later, not because she needs information, but because she wants to know whether there is room for more time with you. She may say things like, "You are hard to read," or "I am still figuring you out," not because she is pulling away, but because she is leaning in through curiosity. She may tease you a little more. She may circle back to something you said earlier. She may keep the conversation alive when it would have been easy to end it. Those are not random habits. Those are often signs of emotional invitation. Marcus Aurelius said, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." That matters here more than most men realize. A strong man notices hints without getting carried away by them. He does not panic. He does not lunge. He does not hear one warm phrase and suddenly dump all his energy into the moment. He receives the signal calmly. He stays grounded. He answers with a little strength, a little warmth, and enough self-control to let the connection keep unfolding. That is what keeps the energy alive. A lot of men fail here because they do one of two weak things. Either they miss every hint and act flat, which kills momentum, or they overreact to every hint and start pushing too hard, which kills safety. Both mistakes come from the same problem. They are not reading with emotional discipline. A woman hinting more does not mean lose your head. It means pay attention. It means the moment is becoming more open, and now your job is to match that openness with calm awareness. This is especially true because women often hint before they risk more direct interest. They want to see whether you can read the room, whether you can feel the shift without making it weird, whether you can lead without rushing. That is part of what makes a man attractive. Not that he forces clarity out of her, but that he can feel subtlety and respond to it like a grown man. Epictetus said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." The same principle works in reverse here. First, learn the meaning of what she is saying, then respond. Hear the subtext, feel the invitation. Notice when she is no longer just talking to you, but slowly opening space around you. So when she starts hinting more, do not treat it like a mystery you need to solve with pressure. Treat it like a current you need to feel. Stay calm, stay sharp, stay patient, Because a woman who keeps hinting is often asking one quiet question beneath all her words. Can you read me without making me regret opening the door? If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I read between. Let's keep going because the next part reveals how her whole energy starts turning warmer when she wants more than conversation, and you will not want to miss that shift. Number 3. Her energy turns warm. Here is where a lot of men miss the shift, folks. A woman usually does not reveal stronger desire with one giant move. She reveals it through warmth. That is the change you need to watch for. My friend, when a woman starts wanting more from the moment her whole energy softens and brightens at the same time, her tone gets warmer, her face gets more open, her replies carry more feeling. She stops sounding polite and starts sounding engaged. That is when the interaction begins moving out of the surface and into something more personal. A woman who is only being civil will keep the energy clean and controlled. She answers, smiles, and stays pleasant, but there is no glow in it, no extra softness, no emotional pull. But when she is drawn in, the temperature changes. She starts speaking like she is enjoying you, not just responding to you. Her laughter comes easier, her words become more playful, her questions stop sounding formal and start sounding curious. Even the pauses feel different because now they are not empty, they are warm. Take Jason, age 41, from Phoenix. He met Lauren, age 33, at a friend's dinner party. Early on, Lauren was friendly with everyone. She smiled, kept conversation moving, and gave the same polite energy around the table. But once she and Jason started talking alone near the patio doors, something changed. Her voice got softer. She held eye contact longer. When Jason teased her lightly, she did not just laugh. She leaned in and asked him another question, then another. When the group started getting louder, she stayed focused on him instead of drifting away with the room. That is what warm energy looks like, folks. It is not always dramatic. It is directional. Lauren was not making some huge declaration. She was doing something subtler and more important. She was giving Jason emotional warmth that was meant only for him. She started touching the conversation with more feeling. Her smile slowed down. Her answers got a little longer. When he spoke, she listened with her whole face. That is the shift many men fail to see because they are waiting for something obvious instead of reading what is already right in front of them. Now here is the part that matters. Warmth is not the same thing as general friendliness. A lot of men confuse the two and either get too excited or too passive. The difference is this: friendliness stays broad, warmth becomes focused. Friendliness is social, warmth becomes personal. When a woman turns warm toward you, she starts making the moment feel softer, closer, and more charged, without saying it directly. This is why your job is not to force more. Your job is to recognize the warmth and meet it with calm strength. If you get too eager, you break it. If you stay too flat, you waste it. A stronger man notices the shift and lets it breathe. He slows down a little. He listens better. He gives the moment more space instead of flooding it with nervous words. That is how warmth grows into tension. So watch for the change in her energy. Is she more playful now? More relaxed? More attentive? Does her smile linger? Does her voice soften? Does she seem less interested in the room and more interested in staying with you? That is often how desire begins showing itself in real life, not with loud signals, with warmth that keeps moving toward you. And once you learn to see that, my friend, a lot of female behavior starts making much more sense. Because women often reveal what they want emotionally before they ever reveal it directly. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I feel the shift. Stick with me because the next part shows how a woman starts inviting you in without saying it in an obvious way, and that is where most men either read the moment right or completely lose it. Number 4. She invites you in. Here is where the shift becomes hard to miss, folks. A woman who wants more does not always say it in a direct way. Very often she invites you in first. Not always into a place, my friend, into a moment, into her attention. into a more private layer of the interaction. That is the difference. She stops keeping everything on the surface and starts creating little openings for you to step closer, emotionally and personally. That is what men need to learn how to read. A woman who is not interested usually keeps a clear outer layer. She stays pleasant, but she does not open private space. She does not offer extra time. She does not create little chances for the conversation to deepen. She keeps things efficient. But when she is drawn to you, she begins making room. She tells you something more personal than she had to. She keeps standing there when she could have left. She asks one more question when the interaction could have ended. She gives you a reason to stay inside the moment with her. That is an invitation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." That matters here because a strong man can notice an invitation without getting reckless. He does not force more out of it than what is there. He does not hear one warm opening and suddenly start rushing ahead. He simply recognizes that she is opening space, and he responds with calm presence. That is what keeps the energy clean and attractive. A lot of men make the same mistake here. They think invitation must be dramatic to be real. They wait for something obvious, then miss the subtle things women do all the time. A woman may say, "Walk with me for a second." She may ask, "So, what are you doing after this?" She may stay behind when everyone else drifts off. She may lower her voice and tell you something she would not say in front of the group. She may find a reason to keep the two of you slightly apart from everyone else. Those moments matter. They are often her way of saying, "I am comfortable opening this space with you. Now show me you can handle it." That is the deeper layer, folks. An invitation is not only about desire, it is also about trust. She is seeing whether you can step into closeness without becoming clumsy, needy, or too intense. That is why your response matters so much. The right response is not overexcitement. It is steadiness. You stay present. You lean in emotionally, not aggressively. You let the conversation deepen. You match her energy without trying to own the whole moment. Epictetus said, "First, learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." In moments like this, first learn the meaning of what she is doing, and then move. If she creates a more private lane with you, stay with it. Listen more closely. Slow your delivery down. Let the tension build naturally. Do not break the moment by getting too eager for certainty. Women often invite first, then watch whether you can carry the moment like a man. This is especially important because invitation often comes before anything obvious. It comes in timing, privacy, and emotional access. A woman who keeps opening those doors is usually telling you something with her behavior before she ever says it with direct words. And let's be real, folks. Most men lose these moments because they either freeze and act too safe, or they push and make it awkward. The man who gets it right does neither. He notices. He enters the moment with calm strength. He keeps the energy warm, clear, and grounded. If you want deeper lessons like this every week, join the membership today. That is where I go further into female psychology, masculine presence, and the small signals most men keep missing. Drop this in the comments. I read the opening. Stay with me because the next part reveals what it means when she stays a little longer than she needs to, and that is one of the clearest signs that the energy is moving in your favor. Number 5. She stays a little longer. Here is one of the clearest signs most men still miss, folks. When a woman wants more from the moment, she often stays a little longer than she needs to. That matters more than you think, my friend. Time is attention made visible. A woman who is not interested usually keeps things moving. She is polite, maybe even warm, but she exits clean. She does not stretch the moment. She does not keep the conversation alive past its natural ending. But when she is drawn in, she lingers. She slows down the goodbye. She finds one more reason to stay in your orbit, and that is rarely random. That extra minute tells you something. A woman who wants distance creates distance. A woman who wants closeness creates delay. She may stand beside you after everyone else starts leaving. She may ask one more question with her coat already on. She may walk slower than she needs to. She may keep turning back toward you when the moment should already be over. These little things matter because they show intent without forcing her to say too much too soon. She is giving the energy more time to breathe. Take Mason, age 42, from Dallas. He met Claire, age 34, at a friend's engagement party on a Friday night. The conversation started easy enough. Light jokes, a little teasing, nothing dramatic. But as the night went on, Mason noticed something different. Every time the circle widened, Claire drifted back toward him. When the party started thinning out, she did not rush to leave with the others. She stayed by the patio railing talking to him while her friends were already saying their goodbyes. Then when she finally picked up her purse, she did not just wave and go. She asked him one more question about something he had mentioned earlier, smiled and stayed there another few minutes. That is not an accident, folks. Claire was not just being nice. She was extending the moment. She was telling Mason with her time what she was not yet saying directly with her words. I am enjoying this. I do not want this to end yet. That is one of the strongest signals a woman can give, because time is the one thing people do not spend carelessly when they are emotionally flat. If she keeps giving you more of it when she does not need to, that usually means the interaction is doing something for her. Now here is where men ruin it. They notice she is lingering, and they panic. They start talking too much. They overplay the moment. They rush to turn it into something bigger because they are scared the window will close. That is exactly how they break what was naturally building. A stronger man notices the extra time and settles deeper into it. He slows down instead of speeding up. He lets the moment stay simple, warm, and slightly charged. He trusts that her staying is already a sign. This is especially important because women often reveal desire through continued presence before anything else. She may not say she wants more, she may not make some dramatic move, but if she keeps staying, keeps asking, keeps finding reasons not to leave, she is opening a lane. She is giving the connection more oxygen. And your job is not to smother it, your job is to read it well. So pay attention to endings. Endings tell the truth. When a woman is done, she leaves. When a woman is curious, she lingers. When a woman is warming up to you, she stretches the final seconds because part of her wants to see what else might happen in that space. That is why this sign matters so much, my friend. It is not loud, but it is real. She stays a little longer because she is not ready to let the energy go yet. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I notice her time. Don't go anywhere. Because the next part reveals why her eyes often say it before her mouth ever does. And that is where the signal becomes even harder to miss. Number 6. Her eyes tell you first. Let's get honest, folks. Before a woman says more, before she hints more, before she gives you extra time, her eyes often tell you first. That is one of the clearest signals in female psychology, and most men still miss it because they only listen to words. My friend, words are usually the safer layer. Eyes are often the layer underneath that. They reveal attention, comfort, curiosity, and emotional pull before her mouth is ready to make anything obvious. That is why eye contact matters so much. A woman who is only being polite will look at you when needed, then let her attention drift. Nothing wrong with that. It is normal. But when she is drawn in, her eyes start behaving differently. She comes back to you. She holds contact a little longer. She looks away, then returns. She watches your face when you are not even saying much. She starts reading you with her attention, not just hearing you with her ears. That is the shift. And once you learn to see it, a lot of confusion disappears. Now, let's keep this real. Not every look means desire. Men get into trouble when they act like every glance is some huge green light. That is weak thinking. What matters is the pattern. Does she keep finding you with her eyes? Does she hold eye contact longer when the moment gets quiet? Does her gaze soften instead of staying purely social? Does she look down, smile, then look back up? Those are the little things that tell you her attention is no longer casual. It is becoming personal. Marcus Aurelius said the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. That matters here, because a woman's eyes often reflect the emotional color of the moment before her words do. If she is guarded, her gaze stays brief and practical. If she is warming up, her eyes begin carrying more softness, more curiosity, more presence. She stops just looking at you. She starts taking you in. That is a big difference. A lot of men ruin this because they either miss it completely or react too hard to it. They notice stronger eye contact and suddenly get thirsty. Their voice changes. Their pacing gets messy. They start trying to force more out of the interaction because they think they have caught the sign. That is exactly how they break the energy. A stronger man does something simpler. He notices it, but he stays grounded. He answers steady eye contact with steady eye contact, not staring, not performing, just calm presence. This is important because women often use eye contact to test emotional safety too. Can you hold the moment without getting weird? Can you stay centered when the interaction becomes more charged? Can you read the shift without lunging at it? That is part of what she is learning through your eyes as well. Eye contact is not just a sign from her, it is a test for you. Epictetus taught that we should first learn to observe. That is exactly what men need here. Observe before assuming. Read the pattern before reacting. A woman's eyes tell you first when her attention is becoming selective, when she is more locked into your presence than the rest of the room, and when the energy is no longer just friendly. That does not mean rush. It means recognize. So watch her eyes when the conversation slows down. Watch whether she stays with you in the quiet. Watch whether she keeps returning to your face, even when she could easily look elsewhere. Watch whether the gaze becomes softer, slower, warmer. Those little shifts say more than men think, because women often speak interest with attention before they speak it with language. And when you see it, do not force the next step. Just become more present. Match the moment with calm. Let her feel that you can hold eye contact like a man, not like a boy searching for proof. That is how attraction keeps building instead of breaking. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I read her eyes. Stay with me, because the next part reveals how tension starts building fast once these signals come together, and that is where most men either stay in control or lose the moment. Number 7. Tension builds fast. Here is where a lot of men either make the moment stronger or ruin it completely, folks. Once a woman is giving you warmer words, longer eye contact, more time and more space to stay close, tension can build very fast. That is the part many men are not ready for. My friend, they wait forever and miss it, or they feel it rising and get overeager. Both mistakes kill the moment. Real tension grows when you can feel the shift without rushing to crush it with nervous energy. Let's call it what it is. Tension is not confusion, it is not pressure, it is not some cheap game. Tension is the emotional charge that builds when two people both feel something, but neither one has rushed to flatten it. It lives in the pause after a playful line. It lives in the eye contact that lingers a second too long. It lives in the way her voice softens when the room gets louder. And once it starts building, it can move fast, because attraction is rarely a straight line. It often builds in layers, then suddenly catches fire. Take Owen, age 42, from Charlotte. He met Brianna, age 34, at a friend's rooftop birthday dinner. Early on, Brianna was social with everyone. She smiled, talked, and stayed easygoing. But as the night moved on, her energy toward Owen started narrowing. She kept returning to him. She asked more personal questions. When he answered, she held eye contact longer than before. Then came the shift. The group was laughing around them, but Brianna and Owen had their own quieter bubble forming right there in the middle of the noise. That is how tension often begins, folks. Not with a giant move, with a narrowing of focus. Owen felt it, but he did not rush. That is what mattered. He did not start performing. He did not begin talking too much to keep the energy alive. He did not overcompensate because he was afraid to lose the moment. He slowed down. He answered her questions with just enough. He let the pauses breathe. When Brianna teased him, he smiled and let the look stay between them a second longer before replying. That was enough. Her smile changed. Her body turned more fully toward him. The tension built faster because he trusted it instead of grabbing at it. This is where men need discipline. When a woman is giving clear warmth, many men panic internally. They think, this is it, I need to do something big right now. That fear makes them rush the energy. Suddenly their voice changes, their pacing gets messy, and the whole thing starts feeling forced. But a woman does not want to feel your panic. She wants to feel your steadiness inside the rising heat. That is what makes tension exciting instead of awkward. So when the energy starts moving fast, your job is simple. Do less, but do it better. Hold eye contact, lower your pace, listen harder, let your words land clean, let the silence carry some weight. A woman can feel when a man is comfortable inside a charged moment, and that comfort is what allows the tension to deepen instead of collapse. Now let's be honest, tension also tests you. Can you handle closeness without becoming needy? Can you feel attraction without spilling all over the moment? Can you stay composed when the air changes? That is what she is reading too. And if you stay calm there, the whole interaction starts feeling different to her. More alive, more personal, more memorable. That is why tension builds fast when the signals are real. Because once warmth, attention, and curiosity come together, the emotional distance starts shrinking quickly. The only question is whether you know how to carry it like a man. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I hold the tension. Stay with me because the next part reveals why she starts wanting your lead once that tension is strong enough, and most men still miss that moment. Number 8. She wants your lead. Here is where many men freeze, folks. Once the energy is real, once the warmth is there, once the tension starts rising, a woman often stops looking for more words and starts looking for leadership. That is the shift. My friend, she does not want you to suddenly become aggressive, loud, or controlling. She wants to feel that you can read the moment, stay calm inside it, and move it forward without making her carry all the weight. That is what masculine leadership feels like at this stage. Not pressure, direction. A lot of men fail here because they think leadership means forcing something. It does not. Other men fail for the opposite reason. They keep waiting, keep hesitating, keep asking too many questions, and keep acting like they need endless confirmation before they can guide the interaction anywhere. That kills momentum. Because when a woman is already opening up to you, already giving you warmth, attention, and emotional space, too much hesitation starts to feel weak. She begins to feel like she has to do all the invisible work herself. That drains the charge out of the moment. This is why leadership matters so much. A woman wants to feel that you can recognize a rising connection and hold it with calm strength. She wants to feel that you are not blind to what is happening. She wants to feel that you are aware enough to move the interaction forward naturally. That may be as simple as lowering your voice a little, guiding the conversation into a more private lane, suggesting the next step with certainty, or making a clean decision instead of hovering in uncertainty. Leadership often looks small from the outside, but it feels big to her on the inside. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That applies here perfectly. When the moment asks for leadership, do not overthink masculinity. Embody it. Be clear. Be steady. Be aware. A woman who wants your lead is not asking you to impress her. She is asking you without saying it directly, can you handle this moment like a man? Now, let's be clear, folks. Taking the lead is not the same as ignoring her comfort. Real leadership includes awareness. You are paying attention to her tone, her pacing, her body language, her warmth, and her openness. You are not dragging the moment somewhere it does not want to go. You are simply giving shape to the moment that is already forming. That is why leadership feels attractive. It creates safety and tension at the same time. She feels your direction, but she does not feel trapped by it. This is where Stoic control becomes so powerful. Epictetus taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. The man who leads well is master of himself first. He does not rush because he is nervous. He does not hesitate because he is afraid. He does not need to dominate the moment to feel strong. He stays composed, reads clearly, and chooses cleanly. That kind of energy is deeply attractive because it tells a woman she can relax into your presence without losing herself in it. And here is what many men miss. When she wants your lead, she is often giving you trust in advance. She is showing that she is open to your direction because the emotional groundwork is already there. If you stay too passive, the moment cools. If you force too much, the moment breaks. But if you lead with calm certainty, the moment deepens. So when the energy is there, stop asking the moment to rescue you from uncertainty. Be the man who can carry it. Make the decision. Guide the rhythm. Keep your tone grounded. Let her feel that you see what is happening and that you are strong enough to move with it, not against it. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I lead with strength. Don't go anywhere, because the next part reveals what happens when she stops holding back, and that is where the whole pattern becomes impossible to miss. Number 9. She stops holding back. Here is where the pattern becomes much harder to miss, folks. A woman who really wants to move closer to you eventually stops holding back. Not all at once and not always in some dramatic movie scene. My friend, it usually happens through release. She stops filtering every word. She stops protecting every little reaction. She stops keeping one foot out of the moment. That is when you can feel the difference. The energy is no longer guarded. It is moving toward you freely. That shift matters. A woman who is unsure keeps part of herself covered. She may smile, flirt a little, even enjoy the conversation, but something still stays behind the glass. She is managing the moment. She is watching herself. She is controlling the distance. But when she wants more, she starts letting that control go. Her laugh gets fuller. Her words come easier. Her body stops looking like it is ready to leave. She becomes less measured and more present. That is what it means when she stops holding back. Take Tyler, age 42, from Nashville. He met Monica, age 34, at a holiday party hosted by a friend from work. Early in the night, Monica was warm but careful. She was friendly, but there was still a layer between them. Her answers were light. Her smile was there, but it came and went. Then, as the night kept moving, Tyler noticed the change. Monica started touching his arm lightly when she laughed. She started telling longer stories. She stopped checking where her friends were every few minutes. She stayed with him instead of staying aware of the whole room. That is when a woman stops holding back, folks. She stops splitting her energy. Monica did not just keep talking to Tyler. She started giving him the real version of her attention. She teased him more openly. She admitted things that were a little more personal. She stopped trying to look perfectly composed. Her eyes stayed on him longer. When the conversation paused, she did not rush to break it. She let the quiet stay there with him. That is a huge sign because it means she is no longer trying to protect herself from the moment. She is starting to trust it. Now, here is the part men need to understand. When a woman stops holding back, your job is not to get greedy. Your job is to get steadier. A lot of men ruin this stage because they feel the opening and suddenly become too eager. They talk too much. They push too hard. They try to force certainty out of a moment that was already unfolding naturally. That is how they break the very thing they wanted. A stronger man does something different. He sees the release and he matches it with calm. He lets her openness deepen. He keeps his tone grounded. He listens closely. He stays confident without acting hungry. That is what makes a woman feel even safer, opening further. She can feel when a man knows how to hold the moment without grabbing at it. So watch for that release. Watch when she stops editing herself so much. Watch when her attention becomes cleaner and more focused. Watch when her warmth stops feeling cautious and starts feeling free. That is not random. That is not just friendliness. That is a woman stepping more fully into the connection because she wants to be there. And let's be honest, folks, that kind of openness is one of the clearest signs you can get. because women do not drop their guard like that for moments they do not care about. They do it when they feel safe, interested, and emotionally pulled in enough to stop resisting what is building. If this hit home, drop this in the comments. I see release. Stay tuned because the final part reveals the strongest sign of all when she starts making things easy for you instead of making you guess. Number 10. She makes it easy. Here is the final sign, folks. When a woman truly wants to move closer to you, she stops making the connection hard to read. She makes it easier, not always with some dramatic confession, not with a speech, not by throwing herself at you. My friend, she makes it easy in the way she responds, the way she follows through, the way she removes friction instead of creating more of it. That is the part many men need to understand. Real interest usually simplifies things. It does not keep multiplying confusion forever. A woman who is unsure creates drag. Plans stay vague. Replies stay mixed. The tone shifts too much. You are left guessing where you stand every few hours. But when she wants more, something changes. She starts helping the moment move forward. She answers with warmth. She follows up. She makes time. She stops hiding behind endless maybe energy. That does not mean she becomes loud. It means she becomes clear. Take Colin, age 41, from Atlanta. He met Rachel, age 34, at a charity dinner through mutual friends. Early on, the energy was light, but once the two of them really connected, Rachel started making things easier in small but obvious ways. When Colin suggested coffee later that week, she did not drag it out with vague answers. She gave a real day. When he texted, she did not reply with one dry line and disappear. She kept the thread alive. When the conversation got personal, she did not retreat behind politeness. She leaned in. Nothing about her behavior felt forced. It felt cooperative. That is what men miss, folks. A woman who wants the connection does not keep making you fight through fog. She starts clearing the path. She gives you more direct access to her attention. She responds in a way that lowers resistance instead of raising it. She makes it easier to see her, easier to talk to her, easier to keep momentum alive. That is one of the strongest signs of all, because people naturally make room for what they genuinely want. Now let's be clear. Easy does not mean effortless in the childish sense. It does not mean no patience, no awareness, no reading the room. It means the energy stops feeling one-sided. It means you are no longer dragging the entire interaction uphill by yourself. She starts carrying some of the weight too. She asks, she responds, she contributes, she opens. That shift matters, because attraction becomes real when both people start moving toward the moment, instead of one person chasing while the other keeps the door half closed. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That applies here too. When a woman is interested, her behavior starts becoming more truthful. Not perfect, not robotic, but more aligned. Her words and actions begin matching more often. She says, she wants to see you then. She helps make it happen. She says, she enjoys talking to you then. She keeps showing up. That kind of alignment is what strong men pay attention to. A lot of men get trapped because they romanticize difficulty. They think confusion means mystery. They think mixed signals mean depth. They think struggle means the connection must be intense. But that mindset keeps men stuck in situations where they are doing all the work. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what is in our control. What is in your control here is whether you keep investing in women who create constant friction or whether you recognize the deeper truth. Real interest usually makes the path clearer, not messier. So remember this, my friend. If she wants more, she will usually stop making you decode every little thing. She will help the connection breathe. She will make room. She will give you clearer energy. She will make it easier for you to step forward like a man. And once you understand that, you stop chasing what is forced and start recognizing what is real. That is power. What you learned today, folks, is that when a woman truly wants to move closer, She usually reveals it before she ever says it directly. It shows up in her words, her warmth, her eyes, her time, her openness, and in how she starts making the connection easier instead of harder. That is the real value of this video. Not guessing, not forcing, but learning how to read female energy with more clarity, more patience, and more confidence. If you want to go deeper into female psychology, masculine presence, stoicism, and the skills that help you read attraction without losing your frame, join the membership today. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next lesson. Thanks for watching, my friend. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow.